Now, imagine YSL Myself Le Parfum just missing a vanillic element. Hello guys, it's Virgin here. Welcome back to the video. Hope you guys are doing well. In today's video, we're going over the best winter fragrances in my collection. Now, this is just my opinion. These are fragrances in my collection. So if you guys have any fragrances, you'd like to recommend, suggest them in the comments. Let's get into it. First, we have Lattafa Cameracao. Now, I've talked about this fragrance a lot. I've actually said that this is the fragrance in my collection that gets the most compliments. Now, this is really surprising to me, and I'll explain later, but this is one of the fragrances in my collection that gets the most compliments. Now, this fragrance is basically a very sweet, vanillic, coffee fragrance. It's very gourmand, basically. Now, I see a lot of people talking about this and comparing it to Angel Share. I personally do not think it's a clone of Angel Share, although Lattafa Camera, the original, this is much closer to Angel Share than Lattafa Camera. I feel like the original Lattafa Camera is too sweet, just too sweet, not really, what would I say, gourmand fragrance. So this fragrance has cinnamon, nutmeg, which I mainly pick up, along with dates, praline, vanilla, and tonka bean. Those are the most, how do I say, primitive notes. Now, to me, this fragrance lasts typically 7 to 8 hours, which is pretty good. And in terms of sillage, it is amazing. It blasts in the air and is gonna leave a trail behind you no matter where you are. Now, for this fragrance, you can typically pick it up for, I think, $40 US and about 38 euros, which is pretty good. And I have talked about this fragrance, and it's one of the cheapest in my collection, yet it pulls the most compliments. So this is definitely something you guys should look into. If I were to give this fragrance this rating on a scale of 1 to 10, I wouldn't go higher than an 8, just because I'm not really too much of a fan of coffee scent. Next, we have a fragrance that honestly I've fallen in love with and cannot stop using. This is Maison Margiela by the Fireplace. Even though there isn't much of a dent, but I've had this fragrance for less than 2 weeks now, and I've used it to the max capacity. Now, this fragrance, as the name suggests, is a very vanillic, woody, ambery, tonka bean, sweet fragrance, very smoky as well. Now, the main notes I really pick up are cloves and pink pepper. Towards the middle notes, I get a lot of chestnut, as that gives that really smoky vibe towards it. And in the base notes, obviously, you have the vanilla. Now, this fragrance, what I really like about it is it opens up smoky, but then it also kind of settles down and smoothens out, which makes it very likable. Now, to me, I really like my fragrances smoky, so that's something I really like. But one thing I really wish is if this fragrance had that smoky feeling that lasted a bit longer, than 30 minutes, 1 hour, which is typically the opening. Now, in terms of longevity, this fragrance lasts 6 to 7 hours on my skin, which is not so great because, you want a fragrance that's gonna last well. Now, in terms of sillage, this is a very intimate fragrance. It's not so great in projecting in the air. Now, I did purchase this fragrance for around 50 euros, which is give or take 52, 53 US dollars, but this is the 30 ml size. So if you'd really like your smoky, vanillic, woody fragrance, make sure to check out By the Fireplace by Maison Margiela. If I were to give this a fragrance a rating on a scale of 1 to 10, it would definitely have to be a 10 out of 10. Next, we have a fragrance that actually won the fragrance awards of the best men's fragrance, I think. I'm not too sure, I need to double check that. But this is Altair by Parfums de Marly. Now, wow, haven't we heard about this one? Now, this fragrance is a very sweet, vanillic, woody fragrance, and to be honest, I think it deserves the hype. Now, the fragrance, to me, I personally pick up cinnamon and cardamom, along with the vanilla in the middle notes, and mainly musk and tonka bean, basically towards when it dries down, the base notes. Now, one thing I really like about this fragrance is that the inclusion of orange blossom. Now, I feel like this really, throughout the use of orange blossom, it really makes it from a generic vanillic fragrance to something a bit more, unique and something that stands out. Now, one thing I've noticed is that this fragrance is very similar to YSL Myself Le Parfum. Now, imagine YSL Myself Le Parfum just missing a vanillic element. that is basically what Altair is. So, like I said before, it's very vanillic, sweet. I guess you could say orange fragrance, as the bottle suggests. Now, in terms of longevity, this fragrance lasts around 8 hours, 9 hours, which is really good compared to my other fragrances from the Parfums de Marly collection, which is only Layton, but you get what I mean. In terms of sillage, I think it's pretty good. I think it goes around, 1 meter. I'm not too accurate, I don't know, so I'd say around 1 meter, something a bit more in terms of how far it's gonna project behind you. Now, this fragrance I did buy for 200 euros, which is about 220 US dollars in a 75 ml size. So if you like your vanillic fragrances, make sure to check this one out. Now, if I were to give this a scale, a rating on a scale of 1 to 10, this would definitely have to be a 9. Now guys, I'm gonna be honest, for this last one, I've only included because I feel like, even though I don't like it, and I personally hate this one, I've talked about it before, I feel like a lot of people could like it because, if you like By the Fireplace, you could potentially, not in my case, but potentially like Ragba Wood Intense by Lattafa. Now this fragrance is a very woody, smoky, sweet caramel fragrance. And to me, this mainly smells like incense. If we look at the notes, we can see that there is caramel, agar wood, which is basically oud, sugar, incense, vanilla, amber, all that. Basically everything kind of blends well together. But to me personally, this is just incense. Now, one thing why I have included this fragrance is because of its longevity and sillage. This is a beast, This, I would say longevity is around 10 to 12 hours. It's lasted on my skin after a shower, which is absolutely crazy. In terms of sillage, it's gonna blast off you. You're gonna be the best smelling in the room. Now, I wouldn't recommend blind buying this fragrance just because it is really like, you have to be an incense lover to actually want to buy this, or, to actually have the guts to buy this. Now, I did buy this fragrance for about, I think 30 euros, maybe less, 25 euros, which is about 30 US dollars. So for a fragrance that's incensey, but is a beast in longevity and sillage, I think it's definitely worth the price tag. If I were to give this a fragrance a rating on a scale of 1 to 10, I wouldn't go higher than a 4, just because I don't like it. But let me know, have you guys tried this one? That's it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed about those 4 fragrances. And let me know which fragrance you're rocking this winter. What is your daily wear and what is your signature wear for this winter? That's it for today's video. Make sure to like, subscribe, do your thing, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.